Hare Krishna. Today we'll talk about your profession, and this video will clear one of the biggest myths in Vedic Jyotish. I'm going to talk about the Gemini Sutras, the Charakarakas, and it has been seen, and even I used to follow that there is a planet known as dharakarak Rahu, the planet with the smallest degree in your entire horoscope, and you relate that planet with your spouse. Now, sometimes in our Vedic scriptures, rishis and munis and munivar, they are trying to give us a message, but we assume it wrong. Our perception becomes wrong. And when I was, looking at, the sutra about the relation of dharakarak with spouse, I, understood a word known as Lakshmi. So dharakarak is a planet that represents Lakshmi of your horoscope. Now, the meaning of the Lakshmi is in Indian culture, especially in Hinduism, it means your wife, your daughter, right? And when I thought more and when I studied more than 500 charts for profession, I realized that Lakshmi is not only your spouse or daughter, but Lakshmi is also the overall prosperity. And from where is the prosperity coming? The prosperity is coming from your profession, from the kind of work you do, the kind of money you build, the kind of wealth you accumulate in your life is actually your Lakshmi. And then I realized, hey, Dara Karak planet is strongly associated with your profession. Sometimes in certain horoscopes, it clearly represents about your profession. So what I do in this video is I talk about all the 7 Charakarakas, and even if you follow the 8 Charakaraka scheme, we can talk about Rahu as well. But, you know, so just open your horoscope and find out that planet with the smallest degree. A lot of software will say DK written in front of it, and see how much that planet has importance in your profession. In fact, in more than 90% of the cases, you will see profession associated or represented by the dharakarak planet. So, for an example, if you have Sun as your dharakarak planet, what does Surya represents as dharakarak? Sun is about education. So if you have Surya as dharakarak, you can be closely associated with government. Surya is also administration. Surya is also politics, leadership qualities, bureaucracy. It's about anything related to medicine or very, very authoritative position, diplomacy. These are the things that are represented by Surya. So I've seen people with Surya as a dharakarak. Either they are working for government or closely associated with people who are in government. Even if they are in their own business or corporate, they'll be very much associated with a government environment. Similarly, when you have moon as a dharakarak in your horoscope, you'll see people working in hospitality industry. Your job, your work is to nourish people around you. I've seen people becoming astrologers, doctors, healers with moon as a dharakarak. It's not that your spouse is very, very emotional. No. Dharakarak is the Lakshmi, the source from where you can generate money. Moon as a dharakarak is people working in travel industry, nursing. food industry, psychology, education again, especially the primary education or taking care of children in the school. It's caregiving. It's where you're working in a department which is very close to public relations. See, end of the day, you are trying to nourish people. That's what moon as a dharakarak represent. But for sure, lot of doctors you'll find Chandra as a dharakarak. Lot of astrologers and healers you'll find moon as a dharakarak. When you have Mars as a dharakarak, you are someone who's very good in engineering. It's not about military and police all the time. Of course, yes, that's what Mars represents. But Mars is also about construction, about manufacturing, about surgery, sports, firefighting. And on top of it, we have mechanics, we have engineering. And on top of it, we also have astrology. Mars, you'll see as a dharakarak in the chart of many astrologers. Why? How is occult associated with Mars? Look at the Kalpurush Kundli. The eighth house is house of occult. And who's the lord of the eighth house in Kalpurusha? Mangal, which is the Scorpio sign, which is about occult, which is about hidden secrets. So if you have Mars Dharakarak and you're a astrology student, you are here to actually, you're here to actually do a lot of Jyotish. 100%. When you have, Mercury as dharakarak, it's all about business. You want to be an entrepreneur with Mercury as in dharakarak. I've seen this in the charts of tons of entrepreneurs. Mercury is all about software designing. It's the beginning of AI. It's programming, it's testing, it's business, account, finance, it's IT, it's communications, writing, teaching, sales, consulting. This is what I see Mercury as a dharakarak. Open your horoscope, comment right now. If you've got Mercury dharakarak, what is the profession which you are associated with? And even if you are in some XYZ profession, your environment will be a lot of communication and calculation and technicality and problem solving. That is the meaning, because there will be planets associated with the dharakarak, conjunct and looking at the dharakarak, aspecting the dharakarak. Similarly, you have Jupiter as dharakarak. It's about law, lawyers, magistrates, judges. Jupiter dharakarak are spiritual teachers and guides. It's about, banking. You work for bank. It's about finance. It's about counseling. It's about academics. You are a great teacher or a counselor naturally, because Lakshmi wants to come through Jupiter in your life. If you've not understood, understand it now from this particular video. Venus as dharakarak is not just fashion, luxury and goods. It's about complete financial management, that portal that you run to manage finances of yours and others. That's Venus. Venus dharakarak is about dealing with luxurious products. You'll be working for a company which belongs to luxury. It's about music industry. It's about dance, designing, producing music. That's Venus dharakarak. Venus dharakarak is about real estate, automobile industry, hospitality industry. It's about designing. It's about creativity. That's how you understand somebody's profession. With Saturn as dharakarak, it's manufacturing units. You can be manufacturing mobile phones up to that level. You can manufacture planes, or this is the karaka of any manufacturing unit. Mining, agriculture. It's like lot of labor working under you. Heavy industries, logistics. Top level, at the highest level, you being the CJM in judiciary, social service. When you are associated with society, you're working for the society, you'll have Saturn as dharakarak. Long hours of working, no holidays, that's Saturn dharakarak. And that's how you try to understand the seven charakarakas: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, and Saturn. But there are, Padhatis and Guru Paramparas who are following the, the eight Charakaraka scheme. I used to follow eight, but then eventually have settled with seven. That's is what giving me the best results. But if you take Rahu as the Dharakarak and consider eight planets as Charakarakas, then Rahu is technology, aviation, it's foreign assignments, it's multinational companies, AI, cybersecurity, which also, is carried away by Mercury if you follow the seven Charakaraka scheme. It's judiciary. That technical terms, AI, politics, unconventional careers is all about Ra. And if you have Ketu associated with any of your Darakaraks very closely, then Ketu is also give you, kind of flavor to your Darakarak. And Ketu is definitely about spirituality. So suppose you've got Saturn Ketu, you would have a manufacturing unit associated with the product, which is used in spirituality, dharma, research, occult sciences. Ketu is astrology, programming, data science. R&D is all Ketu, research and development, defense. All the medicines, supplements, they all come from Ketu. Surgical, equipments, monasteries, it's all Ketu. So, what you have to see is look at the planet Dharakarak and see planets aspecting the Dharakarak and, associated or closely conjunct. I'll take two charts. One, I'll take charts of Steve Jobs. The other chart I'll take of Michael Jackson. And I'll tell you, what do you see here? Right? So I'm going to share my screen with you. Here's the chart of Steve Jobs, Feb 24th, 1955, and that's the time, 7:15, San Francisco, California, USA. You've got, see, Mars as a Dharakarak planet with the lowest degree here. What does Mars represent? If you remember, it's about engineering. It's about construction of that engineering. It's about mechanics. That was his strength, and exactly opposite to Mars is Saturn, which is aspecting Mangal through the seventh aspect, and Saturn becomes a Madhyakarak. And when you have Saturn, Mars together, or Saturn aspecting Mars, or vice versa, it's the most technical environment in the horoscope. Immense amount of technicality is seen with Saturn and Mars combination. And you know what was Saturn all about? It was again about manufacturing, and Apple becomes the biggest manufacturing of this Apple environment where we are right now. Right? You see, here Mars is not about your spouse. It's about the Mahalakshmi, the prosperity from where you develop your wealth. That's Dharakarak. Imagine what should be Dharakarak in Michael Jackson's, he's singing. He's dancing and is singing and dancing from a childhood, very young age, 8-year-old, 6-year-old, 9-year-old. You see Michael Jackson? What is the dharakarak planet? Mercury. And aspected by Chandra, aspected by Saturn in the Jyeshtha. Jyeshtha is all about dancing. It's an Indra quality. So there is 10th aspect of Saturn, and there is direct aspect of Moon, and it's Mercury. Dharakarak in Magha Nakshatra, large. And Mercury is the way you communicate. And there is some obsession. There is, the retrogression means that there is some sort of correction that will come in the communication. And he had many songs where he wanted to correct the whole world, where he wants to correct racism. You see, this is how you look at somebody's profession. And this is not the input, this is one of the inputs. I can tell you more on how to find profession through D10 chart, through D9 chart, even from the D4 chart as well. And we have a complete curriculum at Rudra Vedic Academy of almost 100 lectures on various divisional charts. More than 10 to 15 lectures only on, researching and developing your professional life. I hope you've learned something today. Do apply on your horoscope and let me know. I'll come up with another video. Till then, Hare Krishna, Har Har Mahadev. Thank you very much.